My name is John. I still recall the text that, but arrived moments after the cake was sliced. Locks changed. You have no home. It came from my mother, a single line devoid of punctuation. I fixated on the message as the party chatter hummed around me. Champagne flutes clinked and hollow laughter echoed across the floral centerpieces. But all I could hear was silence. I did not reply. I simply smiled. And 2 days later, their solicitor called me in a panic. We need to rectify this urgently. Call immediately. Blood was never thicker than control. I should have recognized it sooner. The first time I earned more capital than my sibling, my father ceased meeting my gaze. The first time I questioned my mother's supposed sacrifices, she deemed it a betrayal. So, I played their game, the dutiful child, the quiet prodigy, the one who always expressed gratitude, even as they chipped away at my identity. Then came the will. My grandfather bequeathed everything to me, not out of favoritism. He simply possessed a rare clarity. He watched me build my life alone. He witnessed their incessant taking, their deceit, their manipulation. So, before he passed, he transferred his entire estate into a trust. No loopholes, no divisions to be made. Just me, my childhood residence, his land, the stocks, the offshore accounts no one but he and I knew existed. They discovered the truth after the funeral. Suddenly, my calls went unanswered. Family dinners were cancelled. My brother, John, told everyone I had forged the documents. My mother, Lena, claimed I had manipulated a dying man. The last time I visited the house, my mother offered me tea in a voice so saccharine it was like poison. I left the spare key on the hallway table. She locked the door behind me, but I didn't retaliate. Not at first. I remained silent as they defamed me in group chats and family gatherings. I let them post cryptic biblical verses online about avarice and dishonor. I allowed them to believe I was weak, frightened, and ashamed. Because I required time, I began with the accountant, the one who had helped my grandfather conceal assets for decades. He was loyal to a legacy, not to a lineage. He provided me with the complete blueprint, properties in 3 countries, accounts in 6 financial institutions, and one very old safe deposit box labeled emergency. Then I went to the solicitor, a reserved and meticulous man who understood the power of silence. We opened the trust. Everything was pristine, unassailable, and final. So, I formulated my plan. 2 weeks before my mother's party, I filed for full ownership of the family estate. It was legally mine per the trust, but still listed under my grandfather's name due to bureaucratic delays. 3 days before the party, I liaised with the property board and finalized the transfer. The title was officially in my name by morning. They just hadn't been made aware of it yet. At the celebration, I wore gray, a neutral and forgettable shade. They never asked why I looked weary. They didn't inquire where I had been, what I had been building, or who I had become. They had no idea I had moved into a penthouse in London 2 months prior, or that I had tripled my grandfather's portfolio, or that my phone was ringing incessantly with propositions. They couldn't even fathom, though. To them, I was still the person they could corner, shut out, and diminish. So, when my mother sent that text, "Locks changed. You have no home," I knew it was her declaration of war. I just hadn't told her she had already lost. 2 days later, their solicitor called, panicked. "The estate," he stammered. "They tried to list it on the market. New locks, a new listing, but the title, it's in your name. They could face legal consequences. This is grave." I sipped my coffee calmly. "They'll need to vacate immediately." He paused. "Are you certain you want to proceed with this course of action?" "They made that decision for me," I said, and ended the call. I did not need to storm the gates. I dispatched the paperwork, an official letter. No theatrics, just facts. You have been residing on a private property you no longer own. You attempted to sell a home that is not yours. You have illegally changed the locks. You have 7 days. They called, of course. My brother, John, cursed me, calling me a traitor. My mother, Lena, wept. She asked how I could do this, claiming she was just trying to protect what's rightfully ours. I uttered one word, "Exactly." Then I hung up. They left on the 6th day. I had cameras installed and security on standby. Cleaners scrubbed the place from top to bottom. I discovered my old photos boxed up in the garage, labeled as trash. I did not shed a tear. I renovated. 3 weeks later, I hosted a private dinner in the same house. 6 seats, for my true friends, people who had witnessed the quiet war I fought. As we raised a toast, I received another message from my mother. No subject, just, "You think you've won. You'll regret this one day." I did not reply. Instead, I opened the emergency deposit box my grandfather had left for me. Inside were old photos, letters, and a single checkbook with his signature still valid. A note on top read, "For when they show you who they are, trust yourself." Betrayal doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers year after year, wearing your clothes and kissing your cheeks. But silence isn't surrender. Sometimes silence is a blade, and when the moment comes, you don't swing wildly. You strike once, clean, and then you leave.